This is City and State TV. I'm Albany Bureau Chief John Lentz, joined today by Leecia Eve, Vice President of Government Affairs for Verizon's tri-state region, including New York. Thanks for joining us today.
My pleasure to be here, John.
And the sessions just got underway in Albany. What are Verizon's top goals this year?
Well, clearly our top priority is to continue to work with New York State government leaders to update the telecommunications laws in New York State. As you know, being in the communications industry generally and telecommunications specifically has changed dramatically in the past few decades, certainly in the last 15 years. And our telecommunications laws in New York State need to be updated to reflect the dramatic changes taking place in the industry. And the reason why that needs to happen is because it'll better enable us to serve our customers. It'll help facilitate us continuing to invest like we do, like we're doing now at extraordinary lengths. It'll help us to continue to innovate so we can offer the best products, continue to offer the most robust networks to our customers, and basically to serve our customers best.
Let's dig a little bit deeper there. Are there any specific bills out there or key issues that you're looking at?
As a general matter, the key issue that we're looking at is the fact that the telecommunications laws in 2014 in New York State, by and large, were written literally at the time of the telephone and the telegraph, right? When New York telephone was the only game in town. Fast forward to the 21st century, and specifically 2014, not only is there not only a monopoly that's no longer in existence, but the competitive landscape has really been turned upside down in a way that's good. We like competition. We believe that we are, in fact, best in class. But competition is good for the industry, and it's good for our customers. But our telecommunications laws don't reflect that reality. I mean, think about what's happened in the past 15 years alone. 15 years ago, when most people communicated, they wrote letters. They really didn't communicate by email. There was no Skype. There were no smartphones. There were no laptops, notepads, no tablets. Some people had cell phones. But if you were out and about and you wanted to make a call, you were much more apt to use a payphone rather than use your cell phone. Your ability to conduct this interview of me and in minutes after it's over, to literally communicate it potentially to millions of people, that didn't exist 15 years ago. So those are just some of many examples that really underscore how our industry has changed for the better. But we really need to have the laws updated to reflect that. I mean, as you know, I used to work for state government, very proud to have served as Governor Cuomo's Deputy Secretary for Economic Development. The governor has done extraordinary work.
It was just last summer that you switched over to
Yes.
Verizon, correct?
Yes. I actually, this week marked my 6-month anniversary with Verizon. And as I mentioned, I served as Governor Cuomo's Deputy Secretary for Economic Development. In such a short period of time, under his leadership, working with our state legislative leaders on both sides of the aisle, New York State has, without question, become a much more business-friendly environment. It has become the tech leader, in my view, not just nationally, but internationally. But we need to update our telecommunications law so that we can continue down the path of really making New York State more open for business than ever, and having an updated telecommunications statutory regulatory framework. Yes, that's good for Verizon. Yes, it's good for our competitors, but most importantly, it's good for our customers, and it's good for New York State.
What is the competitive landscape? Who are the other providers out there, and what challenges do you have? Are the same challenges for all these companies?
Well, think about the fact that when you make a decision, or your family members make a decision as to how they're going to communicate with someone when they want to talk to them, and the person is not there for them to talk to in person. They can pick up, yes, their landline phone. They can pick up their cell phone. They can communicate via Skype. and talk with them over the internet. They can also pick up a telephone that's not provided by us, but they can communicate via their telephone through a cable competitor. So the competitive landscape for communications more broadly, but even with respect to telecommunications, is much more varied, much more robust. But again, our structure right now, the regulatory environment, assumes that there's one player and one method of communication. And it just is not consistent with the reality that exists not only in 2014, but frankly, that has existed for some time.
And you mentioned all these new modes of technology, all these changes over the last 15 years. What's the next step? What should consumers out there know about that Verizon's working on?
Well, we're continuing to invest like never before. Each and every year for the past 10 years, I am proud to say that Verizon has invested more than $1.5 billion every year in our wireline and our wireless networks across our state. As you know, we have this extraordinary FiOS build out here in the city of New York. It is a multi-billion-dollar build out that is going to help many of our customers have communications access that really is best in class. It is one of, if not the largest private sector infrastructure projects in the entire country, right here in the city of New York, and Verizon is doing it. I'm proud to say, thinking about my old hat as a former deputy secretary and the current one, that in my view, there is no better corporate partner for New York State government or New York City government than Verizon, without question. So we're continuing to invest in our infrastructure. We are continuing to innovate. We are best in class. We are a leader in terms of thinking about not only what our customers may want or need today, but what we think they may want 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now. We both know of lots of companies, we don't need to name them, across the country that did not keep up with the times. It kind of did not anticipate their competitors or what their customers might want, not only for today, but more importantly for tomorrow. And at the end of the day, those companies suffered, and their employees suffered, because in many cases they no longer exist. Verizon has never been and never will be that company. We are going to continue to push. We are going to continue to innovate. We're going to continue to invest. And that's one of the reasons why I'm so excited to be a member of the Verizon family, because it really is best in class in terms of our networks, our products, our services, all designed to give our customers the best products and services possible.
Now, you've only been at Verizon 6 months, and obviously You'll be there for some time. But, maybe years down the road, do you think you ever want to get back into politics?
You know what? I grew up in politics. My father proudly served in the state assembly for 36 years, was deputy speaker for about 20 of those years. My mother was a teacher for 33 years. Teachers, in my view, very much are public servants, even if they're not elected officials. So, the short answer to that question is, there's lots of different ways to serve. I believe, as a vice president for government affairs for this extraordinary company called Verizon, which is a spectacular corporate citizen that puts more than 12,000 New Yorkers to work every day in New York City, and more than 22,000 New Yorkers to work across New York State. In a way, even though we're a for-profit company, I feel like I'm doing a good public service as well. We've got more than 30,000 retirees in the state. We pay hundreds of millions of dollars in property taxes. As I said, we spend more than $11 billion investing in infrastructure all across the state that, yes, helps us, helps our customers, but it also helps maintain New York State's leadership role as an innovation leader and a tech leader, not only nationally, but internationally. So it's, public service is where I've spent most of my career before coming to Verizon, and proud to be at Verizon now. I hope I will be at Verizon for many years to come, and we'll be working with the company and with our public stakeholders to continue to be the best corporate citizen we possibly can be.
Leecia Eve, thanks for joining us today.
My pleasure.